Hi guys, it is episode 2 of Walk With Me, and today I'm going to be talking about a Chinese philosophy called Daoism. The reason I got into this, the reason I learned about this, because I actually had no idea that this existed prior to reading this book. My granddad gifted me a book. My granddad's a Tai Chi teacher, incredible for his age, always been drawn to Chinese philosophies, and gifted me a book. I've only ever really educated myself on Buddhism, bits of Hinduism when being in Bali and stuff like that, but wow, the philosophy behind it. Let me just talk about some concepts that I love. The book in itself was, I think it was 80 to 90, I can't remember the exact number of passages that were just short extracts, literally deciphering what the Tao is. And it's a way of living it encompasses going with the flow, pretty much being in a flow state, pretty much allowing life to happen to you, to acknowledge that we are just like this being floating along this river in a stream of consciousness, and mastering detachment. This was kind of my favorite part of it, and it's also the part that I'm really utilizing in my real life, letting go of needing control of outcomes and stuff. It's common knowledge that the ebb and the flow and that shit will happen to you, and all you have control over is the way that you perceive the stuff that happens to you, and the way that you respond and the way that you react. And the flow state is called Wu Wei. I'm still out here butchering their terms, but that philosophy, I didn't know that there was a religion for this. I thought this was just kind of go with the flow, it's like what Western people say when they think that they're quite attuned and relaxed and stuff, but it's basically using nature as your teacher as well. And I love it because there's no rules and regulations, and there's no, with a lot of religion, it's just relying and being dependent on an exterior being, an exterior power, and it's kind of putting your hopes and desires and trust in something other than yourself. But what I find with a lot of Eastern philosophy, like Buddhism and Daoism, is it's within yourself, but within this stream of consciousness. I feel like where I'm about to go and waffle about this and go on tangents with this, it might not even be making verbally much sense, but this is just my making sense of what I was reading. It's a very, very easy read in terms of the fact that it is just short passages, you will probably have to reread them a few times just to make sense of what they're even saying, but it's really beautiful, and I'd really advise anybody to read it. For me, one of my biggest, I was about to say issues, but not even issues, just area that I'd like to work on in the future is controlling my emotions, temper and mind during the situation. I'm great, and I'll pat myself on the back, I am great at after a situation going down, I can reflect, I can ponder, I can journal, I can be I did this, I shouldn't have done this, I'll do this next time. And obviously this is all part of the process, which is trust in the process, which is exactly what Daoism encompasses, is trust in the process. It's all about detachment of ego as well, and not having to prove oneself in order to seem wiser. There are a few quotes in the book, and I don't remember the exact phrasing of it, but it basically says something along the lines of do not speak of which you do not understand, if you know what I mean. And it makes me laugh because that's quite literally what I do on this channel, is I try and make sense of things, but that's fine. I kind of took this as, one, people that talk the loudest in a room and want to be perceived as the most intelligent typically aren't, and two, there's no point trying to make such hard sense of something. For example, the Tao, because it literally says you can't put a finger on what it is, trying to make sense of something, just accept it exists. So what I've made sense of what this is it's all about finding harmony in life and with the universe, and like I said, encompasses the flow state to a T. Go with the flow, and it basically says that if you try and row against the flow of this boat that you are sailing in, then it will be hard and it will cause you difficulties and stress and whatnot. So just let go, basically. Honestly, there's not even much that can be said about it, because the philosophy is so simple yet so hard to rewire your mind to favour. One of my biggest things is attachment, which is what motivates a lot of my emotions and a lot of my stress, is just being attached subconsciously to shit. And it's not material things. I think most of my attachment comes from wanting perfectionism in my practices, my spiritual practices, my journey, to be just linear, going up, my relationships being as good as they can possibly be. So Daoism allows me to, if something isn't going as perfect as I'm conditioned to want it to be, letting go and accepting that. And it has genuinely helped me in real life situations before, and I'm pretty sure I said this in a video before. There was one night I was having a bit of a breakdown, one of them ones, it just happens. And it wasn't just a bit of a breakdown, it was probably one of the worst ones I had, and this was fairly recently, like hyperventilating, 3-4 a.m, can't sleep, and then was in a hotel room and this emergency light goes on as well and the power goes out, no air conditioning, bright light that you can't turn on or off. Basically, I was put in the position where I couldn't do anything apart from be there in this highly emotional state that I couldn't control. I couldn't control. And this was whilst I was reading the book, and I was like, hold on, let me just try and actually utilise what I'm reading and learning for once in my fucking life. And I tapped into this flow state and this detachment and this, like, I can't explain it, it just works. And like just having that as a tool now to be able to tap into, I haven't mastered it. This is the first book I've read on it. I'd definitely like to read more. I'd definitely like to listen to more and look into more. But it's a start. That's it. It was a really short one today because it's so simple. But anyway, we fly to Thailand tomorrow, so the next walk and talk will definitely be in Thailand. And I think I'm going to make a little vlog going to Thailand. Yeah, I'm going to go and post my Nana postcard right now that I got her from Japan, which was a long time ago, that I haven't posted yet. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!